He drank it like it was water. It sloshed down his throat and dribbled out of the corners of his mouth. The water was molten hot. Like candle wax on his skin. He scrubbed, almost as if the day itself could be scrubbed off. He breathed. I love poems, but I often find that they can come across either as too cheesy or too pretentious. But a lot of art is quite pretentious. That shouldn't scare us. In pleasure some their glutton souls would steep, but found their line too short, the well too deep, and leaky vessels which no bliss could keep. Thus anxious thoughts in endless circles roll, without a centre where to fix the soul. In this wild maze their vain endeavours end. How can the less, the greater comprehend? Or finite reason reach infinity? For what could fathom God were more than he. With this one, I love the rhythm. The words are arranged so carefully and sound so beautiful when read aloud. Old language sounds magical in poetry.
Should pale death with treble dread make the ocean caves our bed, God, who hears the surges roll, deign to save our suppliant soul.
Or you can use contemporary language for a much different effect. Amazon came. My cow. I signed for the livestock, and also a hammock, and led the beast up the stairs. She swayed through the flat, knocking awards off my shelves with her majestic flanks. I tethered her on the balcony and stared into her sullen eyes. I pulled a glass of milk from her and she mooed deeply. I sank into my hammock and tapped my new friend's thigh with my knuckles. Welcome to the new normal, I smiled. Tim's poems are so accessible, they're so bizarre but commonplace at the same time. I think the second you call something a poem, people treat it with a lot of respect. We like poems. We respect them as a proper work of art. O sweet spontaneous earth, how often have the doting fingers of prurient philosophers pinched and poked thee, as the naughty thumb of science prodded thy beauty. How often have religions taken thee upon their scraggy knees, squeezing and buffeting thee that thou mightest conceive gods. But true to the incomparable couch of death, thy rhythmic lover thou answerest them only with spring. But if you posted the same thing on Twitter, I think it loses some of that reverence, if not all of it. You don't have to understand all of what's being said. Maybe it's not meant to be understood straight away, or even at all. Perhaps once it's unpacked and read over and over again, the meaning reveals itself to you bit by bit. Or maybe you just like it and you have no reason why. Poetry is a bit of a lost art these days. There's a snobbery that surrounds it. But poems have stood the test of time, and for good reason. Poetry is a place of play. It's a place for taking big ideas and conveying them in small words. You're not too snobby for it, and it's not too snobby for you. Use it as a tool of creative expression, as often as you like, in whatever words are yours, for whoever will hear it.